Hey everyone, in this video I'm going to take you through a bunion routine we use with our patients here in the clinic. Thanks for those of you who have written in and said that they'd really like a follow-on routine for their bunion. This is the precise routine that I give my patients, and let's get into it. Okay, so a quick outfit change. Now let's get into this follow-along video. This video is designed for any of you that have bunions and you want to know what you can do about it at home. It won't take long, be 5-10 minutes max. So follow along. You will need some equipment, and I'll link to the exact equipment we use in the description below, but I'll also show how you can do as close as you can without the exact same equipment so you can get maximum benefit. First thing you're going to need is a ball, and you're going to put it on the ground and you're going to rest your foot over the top of it and roll it backwards and forwards. We're going to do this for around about 2 minutes. Really relax the toes and explore everywhere underneath the foot, making sure you find any tight spots and really try and loosen them up. Now notice that I'm avoiding the heel and I'm avoiding right underneath the balls of the feet. It's okay to roll gently over the top of them, but we don't want to put too much pressure on them because those are tender spots. Now the first thing you'll notice is I don't have a bunion, and that's okay. All the exercises will still work just as well for you, but I'll show you the typical things I see here in the clinic where you'll struggle more than me because of the angulation of the toe, but follow along anyway and you'll be fine. All right, we're nearly done with the first part of massaging it. Just backwards and forwards, nearly done like that. Great. Okay, the second thing, as part of the unlocking phase, this is step one of our 3-part process, unlocking. We're going to use a little bit of massage cream here. This is the one we use in the clinic. It's called a Tui's Balm. And there's 2 spots we're going to massage. The first one is down here, and this is one of the real secret spots here between the first and the second metatarsal. Put a little bit of cream on here and you can use your fingers to massage in this space. Now this will be quite tender in most of you, and particularly as you get up near the base of the first and second metatarsal, that's where the adductor muscle lives, and a really important muscle when you're trying to treat a bunion, because this muscle is really stuck and it will be very tender. So don't go too hard at the start, just nice and smooth through there. If your finger's getting sore, that's why we use this particular device. We call it a foot mobiliser. I'll show you how to use it here. It's the exact same spot, massaging along, but now I can get a lot more pressure instead of just using my finger. So that's the first secret spot that we're going to massage in underneath here. 30 seconds to 60 seconds in here. If you find a really sore spot, you can put a bit more pressure down. Now don't make it hurt too badly. The aim is not to really hurt yourself in one day. The aim is to have a sustainable practice that you're going to spend 5 to 7 minutes every day doing this. Okay, on to the next spot, and I'll get you to zoom in down here. All right, the next one we're going to work on is down the shin here. Okay, and this is really important and often overlooked. If I lift my big toe up, you'll see this tendon that runs up through here. That's called the EHL. Runs right up through my shin in here. Now, because of the angle it runs on, if it's excessively tight, right up in the muscle belly through here, that's going to pull the toe across into that valgus position, and we're going to need to make sure that this is nice and loose. We've got no chance of trying to straighten that toe if this muscle is very tight. In fact, I did an entire video on the EHL, and I'll also put the link to that in the description below. So nice deep strokes through there. The thumbs work well through there. Ironing out any muscle tension in the EHL. Again, this is part of phase 1, unlocking the entire foot and ankle to allow that bunion to get back into ideal alignment. Okay, so we've spent a few seconds, or probably nearly a minute, massaging that. Next thing you're going to need is a strength or stretch band. This is light to moderate resistance. We're going to put this around the toes like so. And this is a stretch that works really nicely. Move your toes further and further apart until the toe is nice and straight. Now you can see I'm actually adding a little bit of overcorrection, so I'm pulling a little bit further. I'm doing that on purpose because I'm trying to stretch the capsule that will have been shortened in here and the adductor muscle. So you can really relax the foot here, just let the stretch happen. If the other toe doesn't need any sort of correction, I like to put the band around the foot like so, or you can even anchor it to a chair. And now I'm only getting the stretch on the one side. Now you can hold this particular stretch depending on how sore it may be, or not sore hopefully, for up to 10 minutes. We won't do that now because I want to keep things moving along, but at least 60 seconds. We need at least 60 seconds for the collagen and the soft tissues to adapt and stretch. Okay, great. So there's our stretch. So we've massaged and now stretched. The next thing we're going to do is start to strengthen the muscles. We're still going to use this band for that. We're going to put it around the toe. Now, if you've got a moderate bunion, then your toe is going to be on an angle across like so. What is very, very important is that we only strengthen the foot muscles when the toe is in ideal alignment. So you're going to use the band to help pull your toe back across into ideal alignment. Allow the band to pull the toe up, and you're going to press down and hold. Okay, press down and hold 5 seconds. Then relax, the toe will flick back up again. It's probably going to come across a little bit as well, and that's okay. Use the band to help it. So you're always in ideal alignment. If I need a bit more leverage, I can put it out here. And I press down and hold. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1, and release. The toe comes back up again. And I have a quick break and I go again. And we do 5-second holds. Now what I'm doing there is strengthening the short flexor. The short flexor in my arch, but I'm also getting the abductor, which is a key muscle in a bunion that we must strengthen. And release. And again, pressing down. So continue along for these. I typically prescribe 10 to 15 repetitions of 5-second holds. Okay, great. We'll give that one a little bit of a rest. Circle the ankle around, give it a break. Now the next one's going to be challenging for you, but I do want you to have a go, because sooner or later you will be able to achieve this. If we have a look here, we're spreading the little toe and the big toe apart and release. Now this is quite challenging. Little toe out, big toe out, and then down. Relax. Little toe out, big toe out, and then down and relax. Okay, so that's going to be tough for you, particularly if you've had your toes pushed in, cramped for a long period of time. Even sending the signal though, to try to get those toes to press apart, the little toe and the big toe to press apart, abduct, is still part of that process to wake up those muscles to really strengthen them up. So do your best. Watch what happens over repetitions in weeks. You'll start to get a little bit of flicker of movement, and ultimately we want to really be able to isolate those muscles. Okay, on to the next one. All right, this one, we're going to pin the band over it with the other foot. And this one is pressing down, holding that down. Now this is quite challenging. Again, the principles apply where I've got the toe in ideal alignment. Remember, we never want to strengthen it unless it's in ideal alignment. And I'm pressing down, holding that band from flicking out. And it's really working hard through here. I can really feel it fatiguing. You will too. Press down and hold. And then release the tension on the band from the other foot. Okay, and then you can have a little rest as well here. When you're ready to go again, my muscles recovered. Tension up the band and keep that toe pinned and pressed down. Again, we're getting that combination of the short flexor and the abductor working really hard. And I can even feel my glute muscle working here, holding the leg out to resist that force. Holding, holding, holding. You might only be able to hold for 2 to 3 seconds, but you want to build up longer and longer and longer repetitions to build up that endurance and strengthen the muscle. So I'm releasing again. We're going to do 2 more. Okay. Pressing out again, putting the tension on. It's pulling the toe out, pressing down, holding that band. Don't let it flick out. I'll show you what happens if you let go of that tension in a second. Holding the tension down, you can see the muscle really working hard here. It's bulging on my foot. It'll be absent or wasted in a lot of your feet with bunions, and that's the key muscle we want to build back up again. Good. Okay, and release. Have a little rest. Let it recover. And here we go again, stretching the band out, pinning it down, pushing down, holding. Okay, now if I let that tension go, you'll see what happens. And the band flips back. So careful you don't do that. That's what you're trying to resist, that movement, and you'll start to really feel those muscles get a lot stronger. Now, if you need to have a little bit of a rest because they're cramping, go back to the ball. That's a great option, especially if you roll it through here to keep that muscle nice and supple. That's the abductor muscle. And I usually tell patients, keep the toes relaxed like wet noodles or wet spaghetti. So you're draping the foot over the ball. Okay, now we can go again. In this one, we're going to put the band back on here again because I need a little bit of help to keep the toes straight. We put a little bit of tension back onto it. And now I'm leaning forwards on my elbows and we're going into seated calf raises. Nice and slow and controlled, seated calf raises. Again, we want the great toe in ideal alignment, and I'm lifting up. You can see me shaking because I'm controlling it. And back down again. Good seated calf raises. So this works the foot muscles, it also works the calf muscles. And we're starting to move towards a functional pattern where our muscles are keeping our toes in ideal alignment whilst we're moving. Okay, and 2 more repetitions. And then we're going to rest. Good. At home, take the tension off. You're going to do 3 sets of that. For this purpose, I'm going to skip the other sets and move on to the next exercise. But at home, before you move on, I want you to just press pause and do 2 more sets of those, aiming for 20 repetitions. Okay, the next exercise. One of the key things that leads to the development of a bunion is weakness in the tibialis posterior muscle. For this one, I'm going to anchor my foot here. Same band, I'm going to cross my leg up here. I'm going to put the band. Careful with this one, do not put the band here. Why? Because it's going to put more valgus strain on the toe, make it worse. So this is the side with the bunion. It's going to sit here on the foot, just upstream of the bunion. We're going to have your ankle pointed and you're lifting up towards the sky. And if you come up here with the camera and be able to see the actual tendon that we're working. So it's this one here, it's tibialis posterior. You can see the tendon down here. It comes from the back of your tibia and it comes into the navicular here. The amount of rolling in or pronation of the foot is directly correlated with bunion formation, which is one of the reasons why most podiatrists will typically prescribe some orthotics to lift the arches up, which is fine. There's some evidence for that, about where this is all about strengthening. So we're strengthening up the tibialis posterior. Okay, you'll want to do as many repetitions as possible with this. Your muscle may be strong, but more than likely it's not, and you want to do 3 to 4 sets of maximum repetitions to strengthen that really important aspect of your ankle up. Now, quick one, if your hip doesn't allow you to cross your leg up there, you've got a stiff hip or an arthritic hip even, don't try that one. I'll show you a variation. What you're going to need to do here is put the band around like so. It needs to be anchored to something, typically a chair, and you're going to slide across, slide across, slide across. That will still work, the tibialis anterior and posterior muscles. You'll still get a strength workout out of that, and it'll still be effective. So there you have it. That's the end of our routine. I'd like you to complete that every day. So make sure you save this video. It would actually be a huge help for me and the channel if you subscribed and shared this with your friends. But you're going to want to watch this one over and over and over. This is your bunion routine, and you'll see changes after just a few weeks of doing this consistently. So go for it, and please let me know how you get on.